This is the Joe Mullins Show, showcasing the vibrant spirit of Florida and America's innovative creators. This is the place for captivating conversations, inspiring guests, and industry professionals celebrating the best place in the world to live, shop, work, and play. And now, your host, County Commissioner, entrepreneur, and freedom advocate, Joe Mullins.
Hello, Florida. This is Joe Mullins of the Live, Work, Shop, Play Show, and good morning or good afternoon in some of our listener areas. Welcome to the show this weekend, and we are sitting in one of the most beautiful states in the most beautiful and greatest country in the world. Wow, it's amazing seeing some of the things going on in our society today. There's a lot of good things happening over the last few months. A lot of great and wonderful progress we've made in our nation. We've made in our sports and entertainment. We've seen a lot of great things go on. Just so many wonderful things. And Florida leads the way in many of those areas. Today, I want to welcome back a guest that I had just last week on. I've got Rob Goldstein. Rob, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back again. We had a great time last show.
Now, you know, you've got a guest you brought with you too, Jacqueline Wolf. Jacqueline, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, Rob, the name Goldstein, so I would say Jewish background.
Very.
So, yeah, you just gave it away there a little bit.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts just a few weeks or a month ago, seeing all that conflict end in the Middle East with the hostages being released? That was a huge thing in our world.
You know, it's funny. I have some Israeli friends, and they all have stated that October 7th is now going to be like a Memorial Day.
Like July 4th.
Yeah, for them. Yeah. I guess both, because they got done around October 7th, but that's when the hostages, that's when they all happened 2 years ago. And I'm very passionate about Israel and anti-terrorists.
Well, you see all that and you think, I mean, it's funny because the media and why shows like this are so important. The media still was spinning Trump's this, the Epstein files, this, that, and they were still trying to spin him as a bad guy. And they didn't realize the man just achieved one of the greatest things in our history. Peace.
Peace in the Middle East.
Anytime you can get peace. And I don't know that it'll last. I don't think it'll last because at the end of the day, the Bible prophesizes that place will stay in turmoil forever. But when you can get peace for a period of time and you can get accomplishments, that's the beginning of something amazing.
That
and who knows?
Truly amazing. And that would not have been done in the previous administration.
No, and even Biden came out and thanked him and said how great he was. Hell, all the talk show hosts said what an amazing. They couldn't say anything bad. Jimmy Kimmel,
is amazing.
Yeah,
that he did that.
But yet the media still spun it around, and it was so crazy. But we look at what's going on today, and we look at what's happening in society, and we wonder why people are so confused about who they are and what they are. You and Jacqueline got a program together called Women's Business Lifeline.
Correct.
And you talked about it on the last show, how y'all coach people and you get them set up and directed in the right way. And I'll tell you a little quick story real quick, because I want to hear from Jacqueline with this and what her involvement, what got her passionate doing it. But I never thought I'd be on the radio. Somebody asked me, "Oh, did you plan on being on the radio?" I said, "Absolutely not." I came in one day and we just started talking, and the guy said, "Man, you got an interesting life. You do so much of sports, entertainment, politics, real estate, development. We want to hear about all this." So they turned around and got me on the show, and the guy looked up and he walked out and he said, "Wow, you've done this before." And I looked up and I said, "I don't think I have. I really don't remember, maybe in another lifetime." But I was walking around and I realized what God plants in our lives, the seeds. I was walking around the stadium at Georgia during one of the Georgia games, and I remembered I used to run the student activities there. And while I was in there, I went by a little student center, a little room, and it had the radio station. And I signed up to do weather reporting. And I said, this would be good on my resume. I'll learn to do it. And I didn't know why I was doing it. I did the weather report. It's going to rain today in Athens. We're looking at the very thing. And that was my show. Doing the weather report, and it was very well listened to. And then I thought to myself, God planted a seed in me 20 something years. Well, it was more than 20, maybe 30 years ago with this radio thing. And then how I developed it is I went to a seminar with Anthony Robbins, well-known motivational speaker, ended up working for him for a time period. Loved Anthony, loved Tony, great guy. But Tony helped me develop skills that I didn't even know I had inside me, helped me pull them out and focus them. Y'all's program does something similar to that. And what I'm getting to, if people don't go to these things and go to things like this and pull and see where their talents are, they may never see the seeds that were planted in their life to create their life and create the direction. So
and then you regret it for not trying.
Well, you don't know you didn't even try. It's one of those
You
things
have to
where
try, and that's what we do. We bring that out in the women. There. Want to do it, we just don't know how.
some of the strongest ones are. Jacqueline, want to ask you, what got you involved in doing this venture and doing this program?
Yes, Joe. So basically, more than 25 years ago, I wanted to get into business and start my own travel agency. And back then, we never had any type of support programs. You know, we had certain things that we could do to follow on steps or sign up for guidance, but nothing like that. And I basically did it on my own, no support, you know, neither from my family or friends. They told me to go and get a real job. No one believed in me. And I started from ground zero. I basically, got my own clients, researched, did everything myself, paid the money myself, and did it from the ground up. And it worked out well. It just took a long time to get it ground. Within that time period, I started a cattery as well. I raise and breed cashmere Bengal kittens as well. And again, no support. There was no program like Women Business Lifeline. And when I met Rob had over 35 plus years in helping people repair their credit, helping them from bankruptcy, mortgage issues, all types of difficult issues. And he was like, hey, let's do this. Let's help women. And being a single parent myself, I thought, you know what? I can do this. I have a support system now. And Rob believes in me. And I know he's going to help me. And why not use my testimony and my situation to help other women so that people believe in them? They have a support system. They can get funding, access to grants, professional business plans, LLC formation. And this is what this program is all about. And I feel so blessed that we're able to do this. And, again, it was difficult for me, but now I can help women that have visions and dreams of getting into business, paying off their bills, and having a secure future. I can help them do this and help them to believe in themselves.
When I met Rob and you were talking about cleaning up stuff, I'd never been late on a payment in my life, never been, but I used a lot of credit. And when I met Rob, probably 4 months ago now, I had probably 95% of my credit used. And I had a credit score, because I was using so much of it, around 610, 595, somewhere in there. I've never had that in my life, but just things got away. It was easier buying things on credit. And then when the money came in to pay for it, it was easier expanding and doing it. It's so easy to get in that trouble. But here it is 4 months later, by working with him now, I have a 790 credit score.
Wow.
And I have zero my credit cards. Zero.
Wow.
I paid them off, and I pay things now as I go. And I remember sitting there and I thought to myself, I've been working in business all my life. I've been very successful. I went through a couple of things that I call them hiccups in life. Jacqueline, when you and I were younger, this is what we're programmed to believe. And I'm going to meet you. We're going to fall in love. I'm going to have children with you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to nurture you. I'm going to make sure you're providing for the kids. I'm going to go out and work. You're going to stay at home. You're going to keep that house strong. You're going to make sure our most valuable assets we have are in the safest and most productive environment they can be in, our kids. And then all of a sudden you come home one day, and I come home one day, and all of a sudden I look at you and say, I want a divorce. And now all of a sudden I've left. I've gone on and continued my venture, continued making money, doing what I did to structure. Now you're left out there as a single mother with kids, probably 3 or 4, kids now all of a sudden. And I'm giving you support, but it's nothing like it was when we were a unit together. And all of a sudden now, even bigger, people don't realize that I can give you all the money in the world. I can support you 100%, but you've lost your purpose now. You've lost in your mind what your role was. It was to be the supportive wife, the mother of the kids. And that's what our generation taught us was correct. But then all of a sudden we saw a movement where women started going, hey, we're going to get on our own. We're going to start doing things. We're not going to depend on a man. And I certainly teach my daughter this. But that is what life has taught us. And you go in and all of a sudden the man moves on or the person moves on, but then he's left this avalanche of stuff behind him. And then you go to a damn court system, which I hate the court systems. The court systems turn around and teach you, you got to fight for all that you need to. You deserve it. I got to fight for all that I need to. I deserve it. You get time with the kids. I need to get his equal time. And all of a sudden it becomes a mess. And who's the benefactor of that mess? The kids, the children. They are recipients of the mess that we get in and
the lawyers.
And the lawyers love it. They love it. They send their kids to a great college while we're sitting there trying to figure out how we're going to pay our bills. But that's what these programs are so good for. And how do you help? You talked about, I'm certainly sure you did not start out your family to have kids and be a single mother raising kids. How do you teach a woman to adjust from that major blow in life?
It's not easy, Joe. It's one of those things where you have to recenter and you have to think about, what is my priority now? More than likely the woman's going to choose her children. I want to live for my children, because at that point she's no longer anybody's wife. She's no longer trying to make her husband happy and things like that. So what can I do to secure the future of my children and my future? And, whether I meet somebody or not, that's irrelevant. But what can I do? Because, for me, I had a pile of bills. He left me with everything, and I didn't know what to do. My credit was excellent because of it. So I'm thinking, now what do I do? So I look into the eyes of my children, and I realize, you know what? I'm going to create that inner strength, and I'm going to move on, and I'm going to find a way to get myself out of this hole and create a company or something where I can work from home. I don't have to worry about daycare, and I can be successful. And this is what I did. So that's when I started my travel agency. And it took a while. But then by word of mouth and then refer. And you know what? That makes me strong. Wonderful lesson in life. How to pick up the pieces and move on. And this is what's really great about Women's Business Lifeline. This is what we do. We help women in desperate situations, and also women that have established businesses to grow. If they want to grow it into an empire, they can. We can help them with funding, grants, and loans. But we're here to help them with virtual workshops, emotional support, community, and we want to help them every step of the way. So we don't have to go, as you said, Joe, these difficult situations where we're in shock. We're left with everything and no one to turn to. And we want to be that helpful shoulder for people to lean on to help them in their situation.
Well, Rob, how many times have we been through a conflict and you and I have looked up and said something like, I'm just going to pour myself into work and get through this, and I'm going to focus on my work. The woman in the household, the way we traditionally set it up, when we walk out like that, they're devastated. And I don't want to say but I've been through it twice.
I've been through it twice.
And my kids are amazing. I went through it. And all of a sudden I went through a divorce that taught me to battle and win. It was about winning. I had to win this divorce. And that was the first time. We fought 10 years, crazy, going at each other. Then all of a sudden I get in a second one. I marry. We have a beautiful child. And then we go through it. I'm best friends with both of those women today. I said what I was arguing about at the time with the first one about giving financial support or the amount of money or this or that. I continue to give it. And I was supposed to stop a while ago. The second one, same way. I realize if I don't set them up for success and I don't work with them, and I attack them and try to see them fail or win over them, I destroy my child in the process. And that's what people don't realize, but society sets you up to fight. So programs like y'all's, sitting down, giving a person a purpose of living. And one of the biggest challenges I saw with my wife at the time, the mother of my child, I don't like calling her ex-wife. She's a mother of my child. She's an amazing woman. Both of them are. But one thing that I love doing is helping them set them up to do some kind of business or some purpose, because that was the biggest thing when the role model that we're taught as kids, or the role we're supposed to play, changes. It devastates us. And Jacqueline, that's a devastating thing. So coming to your program, you're giving them guidance to be able to pick up and put the pieces together and have a purpose again.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Rob, really quickly, I wanted to give a compliment to both you and Rob for being amazing fathers. I mean, the fact that you took the time to put your children first and also honored the women that gave you those children is incredible, because not too many dads nowadays do that. So I wanted to commend both of you.
Well, I'm a very big proponent. I tell mine all the time, I'm sorry I wasn't strong enough man and mature enough to be able to hold on to an amazing woman like you. And I say that, and I sit there and think in my head, I could sit here and go through, well, you did this, you did this, you did this, or I could say and at the end of the day, that person walks away so confident that they are teaching I don't know about you guys, but I want somebody in a good mood, confident, and feeling good about life teaching my kids, not somebody depressed and hurt.
I was a single dad, 100% custody of my kids, for a single dad raising my kids. So I had to work in business and push forward and raise my kids. That was my priority. So I understand from a woman's point of view, because that's what I really had to do. And of course, I was already in business and I'm business minded. So how this all evolved is incredible. And Jacqueline, we and I first met for working together, you were working for the other company, the Debt Lifeline, helping me there.
Right.
And then came the Women's Business Lifeline birth. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And
yeah, absolutely.
It's been incredible. The responses we're getting, we run ads on social media, and we're getting hundreds and hundreds of responses literally a week.
Well, if you think about it, Jacqueline, know, if you're stay in that mindset that you've got to be in that family unit, that's the way. Number one, you're going to feel defeated. You're going to feel like you failed. Number two, you're going to go hurry to the next person to repeat the pattern, and that's not going to get anything any better. So what y'all's program is teaching them is, hey, here's the way you pick up and you become less codependent and more dependent on yourself, but yet also enjoy the values and the beauty of having relationships.
Absolutely. And it gives you time to heal as well. So you're not only building this business, but you're building self-confidence, self-esteem, and you're helping your children to heal because they're seeing how it changes you. And when you have a better attitude, a better outlook, and you're more positive, they're like, wow, mom has this glow about her. She can go out and conquer the world. I can do that too. You're actually teaching them to do the same thing. And this is what we want to do. We want to build confidence. You know, many times we actually speak with women that come to us, they feel stuck or unsure where to start. And within weeks, they're launching their own brands, you know, getting approved for funding and doing what they love. So and that's what we want to be for them.
I love it. I love the idea of that.
Jacqueline, one thing I forgot to mention earlier on the last show and today is we can even get them financed to get us started so they can do this without any money out of their pockets.
Absolutely. We have a program specifically for financing the packages, the WDL business suite, and then the business plan add-on. And, you know, also we have someone that's fantastic at building websites. We have a webmaster. You know, he builds beautiful websites and we can set them up there. We have a lot of connections. But yeah, the financing is great. People come to us, they're like, how do we pay for this plan? And then they come to me. I set them up with financing. They're done. We move forward. I help them build amazing business plans. And then we start looking for the funding. So, and then we have a workshop coming up on October 18th and also the 20th, also in November. But we're constantly having workshops with our program.
So you guys have these workshops regularly.
Workshops rotate. There's probably going to be, we talked about that on the last show, probably have 2 to 4 workshops a month where we're speaking to a large group online about what we're talking about here today. Mm-hmm. And then once they hire us, then we can have individual. They get individual, so
you can be virtual and in present as
Correct.
Well with the workshops.
Correct.
You know, I hear all this and I love it. I start thinking, if I'm in a situation where my family has been devastated and I'm a female, this is a great way to kind of pick up and get a new focus, a new purpose. But I started thinking, even if I'm struggling in my marriage, when I started struggling was when I realized my wife didn't have a purpose anymore. The being at home, the staying there was not enough for her. She wanted to do something and have an impact. She was watching me succeed and win all these battles out in business, and she wanted to be a part of that. Before you even get to the point of losing your marriage or relationship, this seems like a great program to go through if you're struggling and go, hey, let's see if we can find a purpose or something over there, because it pulls the codependency down, because it's so dangerous to be codependent on anyone but yourself.
And it gives them identity, and they,
right,
whatever their dream is, where they want to sell muffins or bake cookies,
doesn't matter,
whatever it is, it dresses
chicken salad chick.
It doesn't really matter what they want to do. We help them achieve their dreams. And as Jacqueline was talking about before, we have a web maker, and I encourage, by the way, everybody to look at our website, womensbusinesslifeline.com. It's an incredible website. Jacqueline put it together. We have a great web maker who did the actual formatting of it all. But I have other professionals in our network. We have a CPA, we have an attorney, we have a person to do your accounting. We have all sorts of people there as support. And most people don't know where to start. We have everything laid out for them, and we're there to coach them, mentor them, and even do it for them if they choose.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like such a great program, and I cannot encourage our listeners enough to look out. Women in business.
Women's Business
Lifeline. Go out there, reach out to them, look on the internet. If you're going through struggles, even couples. I mean, I can't wait to tell both of my ex-wives about it. I can't wait to tell my daughter about it and say, hey, these are programs you can get involved in. I've always said to somebody, I can hand somebody some money to help them out. I can give them some food. But if I give them a passion, if I give them a direction, if I give them a career, a purpose, I've given them the world.
Well, there's a saying about teaching someone how to fish so they can feed themselves.
Exactly.
It's that type of thing. And while we're talking about women, and this really is Women's Business Lifeline, if a man came to us needing help do it, we would still help them, obviously.
Yes, absolutely. And we help everybody.
We can help everybody, but we're focused on helping women.
Well, I would say it. If my wife would have found that purpose back then, we would have been together today.
Oh, it's just right.
Yeah. You're helping many areas. But again, it's all mental health, it's self-esteem, it's building up. And Jacqueline was talking about it. You become, and Jacqueline, I think you'll even say it, you kind of minimize the biggest role you got in your life. One of the most important. I'm raising the kids. Well, all I do is stay at home and I just raise the kids. I look at people that say that and I go, what do you mean all you do? That's amazing to be able to do that. I stayed home one day with my kids and I never have done it again. I was like, oh my God. But I want to thank you guys. Yeah, I want to thank you guys and encourage the listeners again. Go ahead and tell them how they can get in touch with you guys.
Well, our Women's Business Lifeline phone number is 702-400-3665. I am Rob at womensbusinesslifeline.com. Jacqueline is Jacqueline at womensbusinesslifeline.com. And we work together. We're on the phone maybe 10 times a day, working together.
Yeah, maybe.
It never fails. Once we get off the phone, I go, there's one more thing. You know how that goes, right, Joe?
Yeah. We talk all day. Yeah.
We talk all day, and we're working this together. And I've been really helping people in business for the past 35 years. And
Woman, they saved our nation a few years ago when they started messing with our kids, when they started messing with our families. Women stood up, voiced up, and fought hard to take our country back. So I give all the credit. And I was raised by a widowed mother,
getting
so
chills.
women are amazing. But
I watched the Helen Reddy movie
Oh,
about
yeah.
a year ago. I watched it. If anybody haven't seen it, but she was into the women's causes. If you didn't know who Helen Reddy was, but her song was "I Am Woman."
yeah. Oh, yeah. Great. Guys, I want to thank you, and I want to remind you, you can go to our YouTube channel, The Joe Mullins Show. You can go to Facebook, the Live Workshop Play Show, or you can go to Instagram with some of our many, many listeners. You can see these shows. You can see past shows. You can even sometimes see future shows. But reach out, like our page, follow us. And if you got subjects and topics, we'd love to have you. And if you've got any for this show, please reach out to Rob or Jacqueline at that we'll pipe it up here on the screen, their contact. We'd love for you to be able to get connected. And remember, if you stay focused, you can live that American dream, and you can make your life and your town, your community, your state, your country the best place to live, work, shop, and play. Have a great weekend.